shawty be jacking it. She know my swag is immaculate. I don't play pong, I drink activist. Lambo to go, yeah, that's accurate.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, NoMercyLambo, man, and we lit. Today we about to break niggas' backs with these motherfucking facts. Straight up, no homo. Now look, today we gonna be going over one of my most important videos, if not the most important video you've ever seen or you'll ever see on YouTube. Straight up. Today we gonna be breaking down Gematria, aka the script of the universe, the code, the numbers, whatever you want to call it. 9/11 has fucking Gematria code all over it. All the Super Bowls, including this one, I'm going to get into it, has coding all over it. Niggas' deaths have coding all over it. Like Kobe, Chadwick, I'm going to get into that. All the mainstream news you can think of, nigga. World wars, motherfucking school shootings. When A equals 1 and Z equals 26, right? Literally, it's just A equals 1, B equals 2. It's the second letter. You get it? I bet. So if you type in, let's think of a category. Fruits, right? If you type in fruit, then you type in banana, then you type in orange, kiwi, what else they got? Mango. Now let's look at these shits, right? Now y'all peep, right? There's 4 ciphers. Now you can tell none of these words really equal. Like, you got mango and apple at 23 and 22. I give it to you. Actually, mango and apple are the same exact fucking numbers. That's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But other than that, you don't really see none of these numbers connecting with each other. Like, we can do another one. Hold on. Let's do another one. I just want to show y'all it's not a coincidence. Another category. Vegetables. Carrots. Lettuce. Celery. Literally vegetables. Vegetable. Spinach. Most of these numbers are not, you see that I'm saying it's not, you're not just going like Jordans, Nike, Adidas. This is like 4 ciphers, fool. This is 4 ciphers. Puma, Reebok. You see, they do not randomly align, right? So now I'm going to show y'all how crazy it is that these numbers align the way they do. You feel me? It's not a coincidence. Like, I just showed you mad examples of numbers that don't add up together, right? And that's 4 chances that these numbers is going to add up together, all right? Now let's drop the ciphers. So we only going to use 1 cipher, English ordinal, because that's the only one I explained to y'all so far. A equals 1, Z equals 26. Now I want you to know, if you take, before there was, last video I explained to you how Messiah, before there was vowels, Messiah, MSSH, was the lizard king, you feel me? So back before there was vowels, you had God, right? But it's GD. G is the 7th letter, D is the 4th letter. So we got 74 right there, right? Now I'm about to show y'all some crazy ass shit. And I'm about to show y'all how the English language was coded up in Gematria. And Gematria came before the motherfucking English language. Holiday. Occult, as in what I showed you in Illuminati Exposed, the Illuminati is an occult. Then we got Masonic, as in what the occult is. And then we got Jewish, right? Jewish, 74, as in the people who run the motherfucking system. Jesus. Jesus was a Jew. He came from Judea. You feel what I'm saying? We got Jesus in this bitch. Lucifer, as in the same person as Jesus. Like, that's for the whole Religion Exposed lecture, but they're both referred to as the morning star. You can look it up. I'm not trying to get too deep into that today. Now we got parables, as in what the Bible was written in. You can look up scriptures of it saying the Bible's written in parables. Then you got Jesus was on the cross. Then you got heaven, gospel, as in what, you know, the Bible is preached in the gospel. Then you got the person who preaches the gospel, the motherfucking preacher. Then you got Jesus of Islam, the same nigga but with different skin complexion, Muhammad. And then you got what Jesus is, the Messiah, okay? And Freemasonry was founded in London. London, okay? And then we know from last video that 33 is a very important number to Freemasonry. Because the 33rd degree Freemasons like George Washington, etc. So the 33rd state, if you look it up, the 33rd state, Oregon. The 33rd state is the only state out of all 50 states, 1 in 50 chance. It's the only state that equals 74. You can type in every other state you want. And Jesus, everything, all this shit comes from energy. Look at all these 74s. And I just showed you how fruit, all that shit, would not equal the same shit. You feel what I'm saying? But if you literally take A equals 1, Z equals 26, all these words equal the same fucking thing. And they're all related to Freemasonry religion. You feel what I'm saying? It's a good category. You can see the connection. Now, if that's not enough for you, nigga, we're using English Gematria, English 74, and Gematria 74, my nigga. And all these shits equal 74 when you take A equals 1, Z equals 26. And this is all talking about religious shit, right? Now I'm going to show you why that's important. Because in the PowerPoint, I'm going to show y'all that Sumerian was the oldest form of Gematria ever used. Now peep this shit. All these numbers, if you use Sumerian, which is just every number times 6, all these religious ass numbers equal 444 in Sumerian, the oldest Gematria system. You feel me? Besides Hebrew. And if you don't know anything about 444, 444 is like the most popular angel number in the fucking world. Everyone talks about 444 and how that shit is angel number. You see it, you feel good luck, this and that. So how, it's not a coincidence that all these religious ass words all equal 444 and 74. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I can end the video right here because this is not a coincidence. If you think it's a coincidence, you're tripping, bro. Like, look at every nigga. Messiah, Jesus, Lucifer, Jewish, Masonic, occult, Heaven's Cross, Gospel, Preacher, Muhammad, Messiah, London. Like, come on, bro. Gematria and English both equal 74. That's some wild ass shit if you ask me. Now, I didn't explain to you all the other ciphers, but just know there's 4 base ciphers, like 4 important ciphers. We got English ordinal. English ordinal is A equals 1, Z equals 26. Now, reverse ordinal is Z equals 1, A equals 26. Now, reduction, and by the way I know these are the 4 most important ciphers, Albert Pike, with the dude with the statue I explained in the first video who wrote the World Wars letter, he has a book called Morals and Dogma. That's the book that's in his hand in that statue in Washington, D.C., right? You can look the picture up. Actually, I'm going to look the picture up for you, niggas. Albert Pike statue. Niggas holding the book. It's Morals and Dogma. It's a Freemason. It's literally known as the Freemason Bible. I swear on everything. He's the one who said in that book that the 4 base ciphers are the most important. Now, anyways, we know another thing about 7-4. That's Independence Day. That's 4th of July. The day the nation was established. Whatever. Boom. So how coincidental that Independence Day equals 74. Now, full reduction. All that is reducing it to 1 digit. Alright? You got 1 through 9, but then you got J. Now, J is 1 because it's the 10th letter. And 1 plus 0 is 1. You feel what I'm saying? So X is 6 because it's the 24th letter, and 2 plus 4 is 6. Hence why XXX Tentacion means 666 temptations. But this nigga try to lie and talk about, oh, it's for some porn, it's for some porn, I like porn. Get the fuck out of here. Now that we explained full reduction is just reducing to 1 digit, and English ordinal is A equals 1, Z equals 26, reverse full reduction is literally just the same thing, but backwards. So now, X would be 3 because backwards is the 3rd letter. You feel me? It's very simple. Alright, bet. So now we got all these numbers. We know it's not a coincidence at this point, right? Like, look at this shit. Like, look at this shit. Like, this shit is crazy, fool. But anyways, let's get into the PowerPoint. So what is the Kabbalah? Now, y'all can pause this and read this, you feel me? But I'm going to try to skip through it so we save some time. Kabbalah is translated as occult knowledge, is part of Jewish tradition, and deals with the essence of God. Sacred text, basically interpreting sacred text to uncover hidden meaning. Beyond the physical universe. These niggas, the celebrities you love, the Freemasons, they all understand that this shit gets metaphysical. Like, it's way deeper than just Earth. Like, your soul and all that spiritual shit is mad real. And these niggas know it and use it to their advantage, bro. For some wicked ass shit. Now let's keep pushing. Letters are a crucial part of the Kabbalistic theory of creation. The Sefer Yetzirah, which is the Sefer Yetzirah is a Kabbalah-like book. Like, it's like the Bible of Kabbalah. You feel what I'm saying? Says God created the world in part by using the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. The Bible tells of God creating the universe with a few words like "let there be light." I don't believe in the Bible, but just keep it pushing. And by the way, the Bible has Gematria all over it. I'm gonna get into that. Remember that Kabbalists believe God existed before the creation of the universe, and that God created the universe in the form of the Sephirot, the 10 sacred numbers. Following the creation of the numbers, the second set of Sephirot appeared, the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So the 10 sacred numbers is 1 through 10, then you got the Hebrew alphabet 1 through 20. Kabbalists believe these letters combined into different combinations and in turn created the world as the letters interacted. Part of the world took shape. Each letter and word created both matter and... I can't really buy into that fucking, what they talking about right here. But it just lets you know where the I'm telling you, you can look up anything. The Freemasons study the Kabbalah, you feel me? Which is just understanding the Bible in Islamic text and deeper understanding past what, like, it's looking at Jesus in an astrology perspective as the sun rather than looking at Jesus as fucking a white man. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, that just broke down to y'all what these niggas believe in. And it shows y'all the importance of that these niggas who run the world, the Freemasons, I proved the Freemasons were real last video. So the George Washingtons in the world and shit like that, they believe in this. About English Gematria. The word Gematria comes from the word Geometria, which our English word geometry is derived. People of all ancient languages use the letters of the alphabet as numbers also. Gematria is the use of these dual-purpose alphabets for calculating the numerical values of words. About 30 years when studying Revelation 13, Dr. J.R. Church considered making an English Gematria by simulating the numbering system of the most ancient language, Sumerian. The most ancient language, Sumerian, which I just showed you, Sumerian Gematria, all these numbers equal 444 in Sumerian. All these numbers equal 444 in Sumerian. He developed an English Gematria system based on the number 6. I'll explain to y'all why I based number 6 too. By assigning numbers to the English alphabet in increments of 6, Dr. Church came up with a system of English Gematria. A equals 6, B equals 12, etc. Who created the alphabet? The original alphabet was developed by Semitic people living in or near Egypt. Keep that in mind. Who invented the English alphabet? Phoenicians. A tribute Semitic form of writing developed in Egypt. So we can say that Semitic people created the alphabet. Them niggas came through, stained Egypt for all their knowledge, and then motherfucking slavery happened, and boom, you know what I'm saying? We're here today. Now, if you don't know what Semitic means, cool, I got you. Phoenician, right? What it just said, who invented the English alphabet? Phoenician is a member of Semitic, the Semitic language of Phoenician. Semitic means relating to people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew, denoting Hebrew, okay? Hebrew is of the Hebrews or Jewish people. So we can conclude that the alphabet, it was created by Semitic people, it was created by Jews, alright? No anti-Semitic shit going on here. So now that we know that the Jewish people created the alphabet, doesn't it make perfect sense that the fucking Jewish, Jesus, Lucifer, all the Jewish ass words you can think, like Freemason and Masonic, all them shit equal 444 and 74? These niggas dead ass made the alphabet in their favor. Like, we're speaking some coded up language right now, bruh. And I fuck with the language. Like, I'm glad we can talk to each other, you feel me? But like, I'm just showing y'all the deeper meaning of all this shit and the truth to expand your mind past this matrix, my nigga. I'm breaking y'all out the matrix today. Straight up. Now let's keep the shit pushing. Now that we explained that the English language came from Semitic people coming over to Egypt, I'm going to further explain that with this video.
It was because a man named Ptolemy Soter went to Africa. He was a colonizer and a conqueror, and Ptolemy Soter was killing everybody. and he forced them to deify his name from Ptolemy Soter to Serapis or Osiris. Okay, so basically he forced them to deify his name, or first to make him a pharaoh. So he wasn't even a pharaoh at first, and he forced their hand to make him a pharaoh first. And then he continued to kill and threatened to kill more if they didn't deify him as they had deified Horus. They chose the name from Osiris and Apis and combined them and made Osiris. Okay, even to this day, Ptolemy Soter, soteriology means the study of salvation. Yeshua means Yahweh who saves. Like literally, it means Yahweh is our salvation. That's what it means. And Jesus was the name given to Ptolemy. Like, I'm serious. Like, this name, Jesus and Jesus, was encapsulated into the story of Horus dying and rising again, but was originally given to, not originally because that's Horus, but was given to this man Serapis. Okay, so when Serapis went by that name, or Ptolemy went by that name Serapis, he died and rose again, just like all the other figures. And they took the Ptolemy character and turned that into Jesus.
Ever taken into consideration, where did the title God come from? When did we start calling?
And by the way, if you didn't get that last video, he's basically explaining how Ptolemy came in and made himself Jesus. So if you, but if you believe in Christianity and stuff like that, you're disrespecting your ancestors by believing in the niggas who damn near came through and killed your ancestors. But let's keep this shit pushing, man. I'm just gotta keep this shit blatantly honest with you.
God. Let's keep this in mind. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with God or the Lord, correct? And we do know that God judges your life, whether good or bad, sending you to either heaven or hell, right? So check this out. There is a God named Anubis, okay? He's all over the walls of Egypt. He is an old god dating all the way back to 2600 BC. Every time you see him, you will see him depicted with a dog type head, or at least mostly when you see. Okay? What Anubis's job was to do was to protect you in the afterlife, guiding you to where you were supposed to go next. Okay? Often appearing with a dog head, Anubis would guide you to wherever you were supposed to go. He takes you to Sirius, okay? Sirius is one of the largest stars. It is 8.6 light years away from the sun, 109 times larger, and actually shines 20 times brighter, okay? This is where Anubis was said to take you after you die, okay? And Sirius actually sits in the constellation of Canis Major, okay? It's in the southern celestial hemisphere. Okay, so Canis Major is actually where we get the word K9 from. Okay, Sirius is called the dog star. Okay, Anubis had a dog head. He was to guide you to the dog star. Okay, Set and Anubis. Anubis is the uncle of Set. Okay, so Anubis is the brother of Osiris. Horus represents the sun, day. Set represents the night. That's why we say sunset. Every night, Set would defeat Horus. And that's why it would be night outside. Every morning, Horus would rise from the dead, bringing back day. They didn't believe this. It was only symbolic, okay? Set and Anubis, they look alike. When you conquer a people, the first thing you do is make their god your devil. Once you have them programmed, they will hate their old god, viewing him as the devil. They combined the names. It was Set Anubis because they thought it was the same person. Okay, so Set Anubis. The name later was changed to Setan. Okay, now we call that name Satan. I know you don't want to hear it, but yes, Satan or Satan was the first name for God, and the name God came from dog backwards. Okay. Anubis was god of the underworld, so was Satan. Don't get.
I just told you how Lucifer and Jesus equal the same thing in Gematria, and they're both referred to as the morning star in the Bible. You can. I'm not even gonna tell you to look it up. I'm gonna show y'all. Why are both Jesus and Satan referred to as the morning star? All right, I got my proof right there. All right. Ptolemy Soter, right, was a companion of history of Alexander the Great. The only nigga that we can prove is true in the Bible. Alexander the Great, the nigga who fought Moses, etc., right? Ptolemy was the pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt from 305 to 304 BC. Serapis, the god Serapis, was conceived of the bull-shaped god Apis and Osiris. Alright, fact check that. The judge of the afterlife. Fact check them right there. Yeshua, as in Yahweh who saves, the shit he was just explaining. Yeshua means to rescue. And soteriology is the doctrine of salvation. It's symbolic of the sun, but this nigga wanted to be a god, so he made himself that. You feel what I'm saying? You see the connections of how Set and Anubis were cousins. They looked alike. So you got Set Anubis, Satan, Seton. I'm giving you all that drop. Now, if you don't believe me, it just makes perfect sense that Jesus is symbolic of the sun. You got Jesus and his 12 disciples, right? But literally, the sun has 12 zodiacs around it, 12 zodiac houses. Now, Jesus also walks on water. The sun walks on water. Jesus has a crown of thorns. Who else has a crown of thorns? The sun literally looks like it has a crown of thorns anytime somebody draws it. I'm breaking y'all out the matrix today, my nigga. And this isn't even the religion exposed. I'm not trying to get too deep into this. Winter solstice. It's between the 21st and the 23rd. So say the winter solstice back then happened on the 22nd. What the winter solstice is when the Earth poles has a maximum tilt away from the sun, which means it damn near you can barely see the sun, right? So how coincidental that the sun goes down for damn near 3 days during the winter solstice and returns on the 25th. Just like Jesus apparently died on the 22nd, but rose 3 days later on the 25th. Nigga, they're talking about the sun, my nigga. That's why Virgin Mary, that shit's just symbolic of the Virgo constellation. And if you know about Jesus, you got the Jesus fish, which is the little symbol, the Jesus fish. You can see this on the back of people's cars and shit like that. The Virgo constellation, look at the symbol for the Virgo constellation. If you got any common sense, you can see the connection. The M in Virgo, right? That would be your Mary right there. And you got the little fish hanging out, aka Virgin Mary gave birth to Jesus. The Virgo constellation passed the Pisces. Let's keep it pushing. So right here we got Hebrew Gematria from way back in the day. Then we got ordinal. A equals 1, alpha, bet 2, beta, B. And then you got tab, the 22nd letter. Then you got reduction. These niggas were doing this all the way back when Hebrew was a thing. Reduction, you got Yod. Now Yod is 1 because it's the 10th letter. 1 plus 0 is 1 in reduction. In Kabbalah and in Hebrew, it is the number 26 that represents the 4-letter name of God, known as the Tetragrammatron. Right here, we see it. Tetragrammatron, the Hebrew name of God transliterated to Yahweh. We already explained what Yahweh means, or Jehovah. Now you take Yahweh, pronounce Yahweh, and you write it in Hebrew. We can fact check it over here. The name equals 26, as in Anubis was dated back to 26,600 BC. They did the math for you right here. 101 is the 26th prime number. You see it right here. Now a prime number is any number that can only be divided by 1 in itself. You feel me? So 4 is not a prime number because 2 times 2 equals 4 and 4 times 1. So there's 2 ways to get 4 from that. 5 is a prime number because you can only do 5 times 1. You feel me? Alright, anyways. So the 26th prime number is 101. We know the name of God equals 26. And the first letter of the name of God, Yod, which sounds like fucking God with a Y, Yod, is the first letter 10. It's the 10th letter, but it's the first letter of the name of God, so 101, 26 prime, right? You can see where I'm getting at with this. I bet. The first attested use of Gematria was an inscription of the Assyrian ruler Sargon II in 727 BCE. So way before, let me show y'all when the English language was created, bro. AD, after death, alright? So we can show that Gematria was being used way before we ever made the English language. So it makes perfect sense how the people were capable of creating a Gematria-based language thousands of years after Gematria was already invented. The Assyrian ruler Sargon built a wall of Cashapp, which is some type of brick, 16,283 cubits long to correspond with the numerical value of his name. So he made a fucking wall 16,283 cubits long, which is just 1.5 feet. Cubit is just 1.5 feet, which would be like 32,566 feet. He made that shit that long just to be in value of his name. So it's very feasible to think that the rulers today that I exposed in the last video, Queen Elizabeth and them, it's very feasible to think that they use the same fucking system. Let's keep it pushing. Now, what is Assyrian anyways? You zoom in on this picture of Assyria, the Egyptian kingdom was a Mesopotamian kingdom. Boom. That's all we need to see. Now, the Sumerians and Akkadians dominated Mesopotamia. Now, you can see the connections coming together and where I got this information. Sumerian is the Gematria system we just exposed, alright? With the 444 and the 70. They dominated Mesopotamia from the beginning of written history to the fall of Babylon. And it fell to Alexander the Great. We got mad proof that the Greeks came in and stole Gematria. Like, we can see it. I got mad proof. I just showed y'all. Now, ancient Mesopotamia religion was the first recorded. So we can prove that the first religions came from this area where Gematria was already a thing. There's just a little bonus. The Hebrew word for smoke, Ashan, that shit equals 420 in the Gematria system, right? 70 plus 50 plus 30, right? They got the math here. You can fact check it if you scroll back up. Let's get to the good shit. Let's get to the juice. Let's get to this motherfucking juice, my nigga. Boom. Now, in addition to all those 74s, now that we got the base ciphers, Jesus Christ also equals 74, just like Jesus. And he was put to death by the Romans, right? Roman equals 74. And George Washington, right? The same dude, the most famous fucking Freemason of all time, 74. And we were talking about Independence Day, which is 4th of July, which is 74. Independence Day, which is a 7-4 if you write it, 4th of July. July's the 7th month. And right now we're talking about Gematria, right? And Gematria is using alphabetic order, right? 74. And it's a numerical language. It's a numerical language, which is 74. Now that's all the 74s. Now let's get into this 26 shit. In the Bible, God created mankind on the 26th day. Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make mankind in our, which means he created Adam on the 26th day. In his own image, 26. Now what's important about that is that he created mankind on the 6th day. But it was the 26th verse of the Bible. If you type in 6 days, right, it equals 101, which I explained is the 26th prime number. How coincidental. Now, on the 6th day, he created mankind in his image. Now, we're talking about God here. Taken from the dog head. Dog equals 26, just like God, because it's the same exact letters. It equals the same shit. Anyways. Now, what's important about that is now, just how I explained the 16,283 foot wall, how mad specific that is, now we gonna understand why the fuck they chose 101 fucking Dalmatians instead of 100 or 105 or 90 Dalmatians. They chose 101 because these niggas are running the fucking mainstream media and understand this shit. Because what is 101 Dalmatians about? Dogs. What does dog equal? 26. What is 101? The 26th prime number. That shit makes perfect sense. Now, you know what's crazy about the number 26? These niggas were clever. Because we're using a 26-letter alphabet. A 26-letter alphabet. And we're talking about Gematria code, right? We're talking about Gematria code, 101, the 26th prime. And we're talking about letters right now. A lettered alphabet. Letter. 26 letters equals 20. Like, letter equals 26. What are the fucking chances? What are the chances that letter equals 26 and it's a 26-letter alphabet? Not very high of a chance. Alright? Now, we were talking about the birthplace of the Kabbalah. We're talking about the Kabbalah with Freemasons study. Alright? The birthplace of the Kabbalah was Babylon. The Babylonian Empire. One of the oldest empires ever known. We were talking about ancient languages used coding letters as numbers. We pulled up the proof of that. Now, they were the Babylonians with the Phoenicians. That's where the Babylonians, Phoenicians are connected with being credited with the first alphabet. Now, Thoth. Thoth is the Egyptian god of writing. This would be who they have stained the fucking information from. Thoth. Thoth is the Egyptian god of writing. That's where they got Hermes Trismegistus, which is a combination of Hermes and Thoth. You know, the Greeks stole most of their gods from the Egyptians. That's for another video. But basically, you see Thoth equals 26. Now, Greeks were the practitioners of the code, right? They came through and stained Eden. We're talking about the Greeks. Greek equals 26. Now, boom, let's keep this shit pushing. We were talking about Roman, because Jesus was put to death by the Romans. Well, Romans equals 26, and Romans is the 6th book of the New Testament. How convenient that they made Romans the 6th book of the New Testament. Now, the son of Zeus, the son of God, Zeus is the god of Greek, right? The son of Zeus, aka son of God, Jesus, son God, the son God, son, I just explained that to y'all. Apollo is 26, as in Zeus' son. And we're talking about how he's the son of God, son God, like Jesus. Jesus is the son God. Son God, 26. Jesus was a Pisces. A Pisces. I was showing you that with the Virgin Mary in the Virgo constellation. Pisces, 26. And if you think sun God is some bullshit for being 26, well, guess what? They also made son of God, as in S-U-N. They made that 101, the 26th prime. Alright? Now, we were talking about God in Anubis, right? Because Anubis was a dog head, and he would guide you to the dog star. Guide, God, guide, God, 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 God. You can hear the correlation. Now, guide also equals 26. Just like God equals 26. And we were just talking about heaven. Heaven equals 26. Baptism, 26. Pastor, 26. And if you look up the Abrahamic religions, it's a collection of the Abrahamic and Semitic religions. The Tanakh, the Bible, the Quran. It's basically telling you that Judaism created damn near all the religions, alright? But let's keep it pushing. So Abraham, right? All his religions. Abraham equals 26. We're counting Gematria. Count 26. Add up 26. And we were talking about Adam, 26. Mankind is created through sperm. Sperm, 26 and 28. Now, I'm going to show y'all some wicked shit. Adam lived 930 years. And Saturn is 93. And Adam lived 930 years. So I haven't put it fully together, but I know Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun, and we've seen that on the 26th day, mankind was created on the 26th verse of the Bible, mankind was created on the 6th day. So for Adam to live 930 years, just like Saturn equals 93, and Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun, and Adam equals 26, and he was made on the 6th day, you can kind of see a connection. I haven't fully put it together, I'm not going to lie to y'all, but y'all can see where you can start making some theories with this shit. He lived 930 years, but died exactly 216 years before Noah. Now, what's important about 216, we're going to get into that a lot. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. And you can either think Adam really lived 930 years all the way back then, which really isn't logical, or you can think that they put the numbers in the Bible to literally code it up for the Kabbalists to really understand it. And for him to die exactly 216 years before the birth of Noah, that's mad convenient. Because if you don't know, a zodiac cycle, and I was talking about how this shit is literally talking about zodiacs, in the Bible talking about astrology and shit, each zodiac cycle takes 2,160 years to complete. Now what's critical about that, 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So 666 is also 216, alright? And that's mad important, because we're going to get into Revelation 13:18. This calls for wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. We're going to copy that right here. The number of a man. That number is 666. Now this Bible verse right here, right? I'm going to break it down to y'all. So you got sacred geometry. You got the first circle. I'm going to get into the circle theory and all this shit in a whole nother sacred geometry video. But you see what they believe, the Kabbalists, right? I'm just going to break it down to y'all mad simple. There was the first original circle, which was consciousness breaking itself into all degrees. You got 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. If energy expands itself into all directions, it's going to make a circle, because you literally can't go anywhere but 360 degrees. Now the Visica Piscis is just the circle duplicating itself, which is where we get the womb of the universe, right? This right here would be the womb, which is what looks like the center of a fruit, center of a seed, all that stuff, alright? Then you got the 7 days of creation right here, right? God rests on the 7th day, all that stuff. Then you got the tree of life, as in what you call the Kabbalah tree of life, what we seen earlier. I told you to remember that picture. You got the seed of life. You got the egg of life, which is the 3-dimensional version of this right here. And then you got the flower of life, right? Very important. You got the fruit of life, which is the 6-point star. You can see it. This is literally on our, just so y'all know how important this is, dollar bill, 6-point star. The fruit of life is literally on the dollar bill. You can see it right here. It's literally the fruit of life. Alright, this is very important. Now Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube is a whole different shape. It combines all these shapes, but it really is combining the Platonic solids, right? Now the Platonic solids are all the solids that make up the universe. Fire, air, earth, water, and aether. I don't even know what aether means for real. I'm guessing that's outer space or some shit. But you can see Earth. They got it as 2,160 degrees. The devil rules the earth, 666, all that stuff, right? 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. Where you're getting that is you're taking 90 times 4, right, which is the sides, 90-degree angle times 4, which is 360, and there's 6 sides. Now, what's crazy about that, we know they say Jesus and Lucifer is both the morning star, right? The net of a cube is a cross. So you can start to see some connections on why the cross is symbolic for Earth. You see what I'm saying? Or the cross is symbolic for Jesus / Lucifer / 666 Earth. You feel what I'm saying? I haven't fully put this shit together, but I'm giving y'all a drop to give y'all a guide to push your to finally understand this shit. Now all these shits, you got 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 666 for fire, 60, 60, 60 for air, 666 for water. And then all these shits, you divide these numbers, they're all divisible by 6. It's the least common denominator, right? So if you combine all these shapes, it gives you what we call Metatron's cube. Now Metatron's cube is exactly what this Bible verse, Revelation 13:18, is talking about. You get the 13, they chose the Bible verse 13. You can either think that they coincidentally just astronomically put this verse as this because, or you can actually understand it and understand that they chose the 13 because Revelations, and I was talking about Jesus was the Son, and then he got his 12 disciples. You see the 1 plus the 12 around it, which would give you 13. You got the 1 inner circle, then you got these 6 circles, then you got these 6 circles, alright? This is a combination of all the Platonic solids. That gives you 13 total circles. But as you can see, this inside circle, this inner circle, is broken down into 6 slices. So you also got 6 slices right here, 6 right here, and 6 right here. And if you want to know, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So they got the 13 from these 13 circles, and they got the 18 from this 18 total, 6 plus 6 plus 6. Now, if you don't believe me, that's where the code comes in to break shit down. Metatron's cube, back into English, the very most pure cipher. Metatron's cube, 156. Alright? Metatron's cube is 156. 666 is also 156. As in the Bible verse talking about, this is wisdom. Let him who has insight. They're talking about the people who understand what I'm explaining to you right now, calculate the number of the beast. It's literally just telling us that us as a mankind comes from Metatron's cube, which is what creates all third-dimensional shapes in the universe. Just gave y'all the drop on fucking life, my nigga. And I'm explaining that more in my Sacred Geometry Exposed lecture. But, and it says, this is the number of a man. Alright, the number of a man. The number of a man, right? Is also 156. Now that doesn't, and I'm going to break it to y'all, you feel me? There's no way that Metatron's cube, 666, and the number of a man all equal 156, right? That's mad crazy. That's mad crazy, especially considering this 1318 is talking about 1318. So nobody can tell me that this is not what this Bible verse is talking about right here. It's talking about Metatron's cube, right? So I know that the creation story comes from sacred geometry. You feel what I'm saying? But that's for another video. But just to even give y'all further proof on that, there's 300, and I'm talking about the circle theory, right? We were just talking about the first circle and all that shit, right? I call it the circle theory. If you know anything about circles, you know circles are 360 degrees. 360, right? Now 360 equals 227. Now that's mad crazy, because if you go to your calculator and you do 22 divided by 7, it gives you 3.14, aka it gives you pi, what is used to calculate the circumference and the area of a circle. So what's the chances that 360 degrees equals 22 divided by 7, which is pi? But if that's not enough for you, what's it called? Let's break it down even further. 22 divided by 7 literally equals 314 in the same spot, which is pi. 3.14, 3.14, 3.14. 360 degrees gives you 227, which is pi. 22 divided by 7 gives you pi in Gematria. And we're talking about the circle theory. Now, the first verse of the Bible, I was showing y'all how the first verse of the Bible talks about, if I showed y'all the sacred geometry of the Visica Piscis, this is the Visica Piscis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Literally means the bladder of a fish, right? You see, you can make the Jesus fish out of this. Jesus, Lucifer, same thing. 6, 6, you know what I'm saying? I'm breaking this down to you. I hope it's connected. Now, let's keep it pushing. If you look up Genesis 1:1, the first verse of the whole Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Alright? Now, if you throw that into our Gematria calculator, that Bible verse right there equals 227. Now, what's the chances? That's how I know. This is multiple references proving that the Bible was talking about sacred geometry and astrology, right? And the only people who would understand this is the Kabbalists, the Kabbalists. Now, anyways, you see it equals 227, as in 22 divided by 7, which equals pi, which explains the circle theory in much more elaboration. But now that I broke down that to y'all and kind of showed y'all how the Bible be talking about code and shit like that, and how this explains how mankind was created on the 6th day in the 26th verse, and Adam equals 26, and Adam died 216 weeks exactly before Noah was born. Now I'm gonna show y'all some other shit, right? That's mad crazy. They took Adam's rib cage to make Eve, right? But Adam is literally talking about atom, as in ATOM, atom. And by the way, if you don't know, there was an Egyptian god named Adam. First and most important ancient god, Adam, to be worshipped, alright? Atom, alright? Comes from this. But it's more important than that, because Adam, we're talking about atoms. As in atom, an atom. Smallest unit of matter, okay? So I can give you multiple references to where this nigga Adam came from. It came from Egyptian Adam, which came from atoms, as in atom, right? Now they say Adam made Eve by taking the DNA of the rib cage. Now if you look up a picture of DNA, it looks like a rib cage. That's how I know that when Adam took his rib cage, they took his rib cage and made Eve. That's what they're talking about. And if that's not far enough proof for you, let's look up the mitochondria Eve. Mitochondrial Eve gene. It literally shows you a picture of Africa right here, right? How much does this shit connect? You feel what I'm saying? It's connecting right now, I hope. The mitochondrial Eve is the most matrilineal, most recent common ancestor of all living humans. In other words, she is defined as the most recent human whom all living humans descend. So the most oldest common ancestor of all living humans is the mitochondrial Eve. And Adam made Eve from his rib cage. All right, it's symbolic. It's very symbolic. I just gave y'all some more drop. Now let's keep this shit pushing. Now Adam was created in the 26th line of the verse, and Adam equals 26. All right. Right? We're talking about 26. Adam was born 26 generations from Moses. Alright? Moses. There are 26 generations, right? What's the chances that it's 26 direct generations? Or is this shit just coded up parables? It's coded up parables. Now, there are 26 direct generations from the lineage of Adam to Moses, right? Now that's mad important because Moses is who supposedly wrote the Torah, even though the Torah was created after Moses Moses was born allegedly after the Torah was created. So how can he write something? How can he create the Torah before there was even written language? And how can he create the Torah before he was born? You can't. But anyways, let's keep it pushing. It's just all symbolic. Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, right? The Torah, which came before the Bible, by the way, too. It was first originally written in Hebrew. The Torah was. Hebrew equals 101, the 26 prime. Torah equals 26. Adam 26. And if you forgot all the ones earlier, you can go back and look. But there's mad other 26s, as in Son God, Son of God, Babylon, etc. Greek. Now what's crazy is we know Adam was made in the image of God, right? Which is 26. And Adam, we were talking about DNA, right? Now DNA, if you don't know, your DNA makes up your anatomy. Anatomy equals 26. And if you look up your anatomy, how many bones are in the body? 206 bones in the body. Skeletal system, 206 bones in the body and their functions. So we know that there's 200. What's the chances? Like, I think God is a master mathematician, and he mathematically created created Earth and the universe in a divine way. And you know, the Kabbalists understand that the Bible is supposed to be used to give you a spiritual inclination once you understand it, to help further your spiritual journey to get closer to God. You feel what I'm saying? And this shit is all making perfect sense to me. I don't know about y'all. But 206 bones in the body, right? 26. What's the chances that we have exactly 206 bones? You know what I'm saying? They had to make God equal 26 because they knew this. That's what I'm thinking. But there's also 26 bones. There's 26 bones in foot. And in your foot. And there's 26 bones in your ankles too, right? And I'm going to show y'all, right? It's mad cool too with the circle theory, because we know that pi is how you calculate the area of a circle, right? Well, pi is an infinite number that never ends. So doesn't that also help you understand that if the circle theory is true, that the universe will never end, which means we will never die, we'll just live infinitely, just like the universe will forever live infinitely? And also, if you look up phi, right, which is the golden ratio, the golden ratio is 1.61, which is also used to calculate, it's used to calculate spirals, right? Now I'm going to show y'all what the golden ratio is. I just got to find a good picture. Here it is, alright? You got 1 plus 1 equals 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3, 1 plus, and this is just 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Then you got 2 plus 3 equals 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8. And if you don't know, a square is just a circle. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. 5 plus 8 equals 13. 8 plus 13 equals 21. 21 plus 13 equals 34, etc., etc. It keeps going. And if you don't know phi, P-H-I, it comes from Phidias, who explained this, right? He was a Greek philosopher. Phi is used the golden ratio, and the golden ratio is to calculate the spiral, and the golden ratio does not end. It just keeps getting closer and closer to 1.61, but it never ever ends. It just continuously keeps getting closer. So we also know that the spiral, which the universe is a spiral, just like the golden ratio is a spiral, the universe also, if we know that phi is used to calculate a spiral, but it's a never-ending number, just like pi, we know the universe as a spiral is never ending. That's positivity for y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And if you ever wonder why every single human being has their foot the exact same size as their arm, it's the golden ratio, bruh. We're mathematically connected, and the foot has 26 bones in it. Don't ever forget that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all the drop on the fucking universe. And I was just showing y'all all the 26s, right? I just want to keep elaborating on these 26s. 26, right, in Sumerian is 156. We were just talking about the number of a man, 156, 666, 156, and Metatron's cube, 156. So how convenient that Adam equals 26, God equals 26, we're made in God's image, image equals 26, mankind was created on the 26th day, And if you take 26, which is one of the biggest numbers in Gematria, and you multiply it by 6, it gives you 156, which is the Metatron's cube shit. So I hope that mankind created on the 26th verse and all the 26s I showed you, I hope that's starting to click up and help you understand that deep down, you're also a God. Like, you're not literally God, but you feel me? You're made in God's image. You are God. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to keep elaborating on this shit. Give you all some fucking spiritual inclination right here, man. It's time to get fucking metaphysical and spiritual in this bitch. Anyways, we were talking about anatomy, right? Anatomy equals 26. There's 206 bones in the body. So how convenient that bones equals 26. Bones equals 26. And there's 26 bones in your feet and hands. Now calcium, right? Calcium equals 26. And if you know anything about physics, not physics, biology, you know calcium is one of the main components that our bones are rich with. And our bones are also, second most to calcium, rich with iron. Iron is which element, though? What's the chances that the 26th element is iron, which our bones are also rich with? Now, what's also crazy is that carbon, right? Carbon equals 26. And carbon, if we look up carbon, we were just talking about mankind created on the 6th day in God's image on the 26th verse of the Bible, right? Well, how convenient that carbon equals 26, and it's the 6th element. And carbon makes up how much of the human body? 18% of the human body. Alright? 18% of the human body is made up of carbon. Alright? 18%. 6 plus 6 plus 6. So there's 6 plus 6 plus 6% of carbon in our body. And carbon, if you don't know, well, I explained y'all the connection. Adam lived 216 years from Noah at 666. Adam equals 26. He's created on the 26th verse of the Bible on the 6th day. Metatron's cube is 666. Metatron's cube equals 156. 26 times 6 is 156. Carbon equals 26. It's the 6th element and makes up 666% of our body. You feel what I'm saying? Now, also, carbon makes up every living thing, right? All living things contain carbon, alright? Metatron's cube 666, carbon 666, like, I'm just showing y'all, like, they coding up the truth for us, and if you use the codes, you can understand your existence and have a better physical experience on this earth, if you really get this shit, man. And, carbon makes up every living thing, right? All living things contain carbon. And 90-something% of all carbon, carbon 12 makes up what percent of carbon, right? Now this is where I'm really about to shock y'all niggas. Y'all can't tell me this ain't real. 98% of carbon is carbon 12. Now carbon 12 consists of 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons. So carbon 12 is literally also 666. Carbon 12 is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. So how convenient that carbon is literally made up of 666. It's the 6th element. Carbon equals 26 in Gematria. Carbon makes up 666% of our body, which is 18%, right? And I just explained to y'all, Earth is 2,160 degrees, and it takes 2,160 degrees to complete one zodiac cycle, alright? And by the way, if we know that it takes 2,160 degrees to complete a zodiac cycle, right? 2,160 times 12, you get in 2,590. That's damn near 26,000 years it takes for the sun to complete the full entire zodiac wheel. Alright? This shit all comes back to mathematically perfectly calculated numbers. Like, this shit is so fucking methodical, bro. And it just makes me appreciate life so much more because I know this shit was well planned out. I'm not saying we don't have free will. I'm saying this shit was planned out and we should be grateful for the fucking earth that we're living on because this shit has God written all over it. You just have to understand it and break the matrix, which I'm breaking y'all through today. Today we fucking there. We spiritual today. Straight up. Now, anyways, just keep the shit pushing with the carbon, right? And another thing about Earth, talking about 66. Earth Earth's tilt, 66.6. Alright? The curvature in 1 mile squared is 666 feet. Alright, so every single mile squared is 666 feet curved. And Earth is on a 66.6 degree tilt. Alright? And Earth's axis is 66.6 degrees. In the polar circles, the poles are 66.6 degrees north and south. So we can literally see how Jesus, Lucifer, the net of the cube is across. The cube is 2,160 degrees. Hope this shit's fucking adding up, man. I hope this shit's adding up, bro. They say the hell is Earth, hell on Earth, blah, 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 blah. Like, literally just telling you that 666 created this shit. Like, and 666 might not even be demonic, bro. It might just be them fucking taking what the dude was saying, taking their God and turning it against you. Like, 666 might really be the good fucking person. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Who knows for real? Who knows for real? I'm not in that lodge, you feel me? I can only give y'all so much. I'm giving y'all so much fucking drop right now. This is the best video ever fucking watched, bro. But to keep it pushing from what I'm saying, we got bones 26, anatomy 26, bones rich with calcium, iron, both 26, carbon 26, the 6th element, right? Now, we know that our bones make up our skeleton. Skeleton is 101, the 26 prime number. And when you think of bones, the first thing you probably think of is dinosaur bones. Dinosaur equals 101, the 26 prime number. Graveyard, where they put bones, is 101. And if you think that's fake, well, grave equals 26 too. And if you think this is all coincidence, realistically, what's the chances? You coincidence theorists? What's the chances? What's the chances? It's not really a high chance that this is all coincidence. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. This is an astronomical 1 in 26 times 1 in 26 times 1 in 20. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. It's not really that great of a chance. Now, I'm gonna show you some more crazy shit. Teach equals 26, and I'm showing y'all this because why do all classes start with Math 101, English 101? Why didn't they just start with English 1 and go to English 2, English 3? They went to English 101 immediately. That's because teach equals 26, and why didn't they choose English 100? Like, why they do 101? Like, where's the 100 at? You know, it's because 101 is the 26 prime number. Teach equals 26. Now, if we look up the oldest English-speaking school, as the oldest university in the English-speaking world, Oxford is a unique blah, 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 blah. And that shit's in England, right where Queen Elizabeth is, alright? Now, what's crazy is that the first English-speaking school is Oxford. And don't forget, English is a 26-letter alphabet, and letter equals 26. That's mad important because this is where the Queen lived. Queen Elizabeth became queen when her father died in his sleep on 2/6, February 6th, right? Is that her coronation? And if you don't know, the coronation is just like Joe Biden became president, but then he had his inauguration. So she became queen, then she had her coronation, which was her inauguration. Her inauguration was on June 2nd. In America, you put the day before the month. In the other countries, you put the month before the day. That's a 1 in 712 chance that she became queen on 2/6, but also had her coronation on the other 2/6. Because queen equals 26. The Pope has his office in the papacy, which is 26. Royal, 26. As in the queen being royal. And they wear a crown, like Jesus wore a crown of thorns, crown 26. But anyways, we talking about teaching and shit like that. Brain equals 26. And temple equals 26. You use your brain to think. You can use your brain to focus, logic, or to comprehend things. All these things equal 101 or 26, man. Now that I showed you all this shit with brain, 26, queen, blah, 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 let's keep it pushing with the 26s, man. Hands, 26. And thumb, organ, 26. We speak English with our tongue, tongue 26. Oral 26 is in spoken 26. If you're wondering where all these words come from, here you go, man. I'm giving you all the drop. Sound 26. Noise 26. Like, what's the chances? What's the chances that tongue, oral, spoken, sound, and noise all equal 26? Gematria came before the language. This is a well thought of language before it was ever dropped. Now, some of the earliest studiers, right, of astrology or even ancient languages was the Aztecs, we know this, and the Greeks. Cosmic, 26. Sky, 26. Zenith, as in it relating to celestial shit. Cloud, 26. Dust, as in we're made of stardust. Humans really are made of stardust. Chrono, as in relating to time, like chronological order. Wheel, as in the zodiac wheel. You got watch, as in watch is what you use to tell time. Watch, 26. Wheel, 26. Chrono, 26. Dust, 26. Cloud, 26. Air, 26. Zenith, 26. Sky, cosmic, space, Greek, Aztec. I hope you can see the connection when I explain that the Greek and the Aztecs were masters of the zodiac, alright? Crusade equals 26. In the Crusaders, the Knights Templar of the Catholic Church created the New Testament, right? And the New Testament was first composed in Greek. The Greeks made all the shit. Hate to tell you. Greek 26, right? Now the New Testament is 260 chapters. You're not going to sit here and tell me that they didn't do that on purpose to make it 260 exactly. I'm not going for that. And the Old Testament was originally written in Hebrew, which also is 101 to 26 prime. In church equals 101, 26. And we were talking about Christianity this whole time. Christian equals 101, 26 prime. Phoenix from Egypt. It was a symbol of the sun, right? Alright. Phoenix equals 26. Sun God, 26. I already showed you. Son of God, 101 to 26 prime. And what do you do with fire? Burn, 26. Blaze, 26. And we were talking about the phoenix being on the dollar, right? Dollar, 26. Bank, 26. Which we keep our money in. IRS. Not only do our taxes go to unnecessary wars, our taxes also goes to Queen Elizabeth. Americans pay a percentage of their taxes to the Queen of England via the IRS. So now let's get into the world of sports, because we just broke down a lot of shit just now. Floyd, 26. Floyd is a boxer, 26. Punch, 26. KO, 26. Alright, that's what he does. Now more about sports. Game, 26. Ball game, 26. Yankees, 26. The best ball game team in history. The best Yankee of history is Babe, as in Babe Ruth, right? Now, I'm going to show y'all some crazy stuff. Because I showed y'all these 26s, right? Now, I want y'all to know baseball itself is mad coded up. Okay, if you take the word baseball and put it in the system, this is why shit is so specific. If you don't know, baseball is a 162 game season, and if you ever wondered why, here's why. Because it equals 162. Why if it wasn't because of Gematria, they easily would have chose something like 150 games or 160, something that's not so specific. But I'm showing y'all why it's so specific in the first place. Now 54. There's 54 total outs in a game because each team gets 3 outs per inning, which is 6 outs per inning total when you calculate both teams, which is 6 outs an inning, times 9 innings, which is 54 outs. 18 comes from 9 innings, but you have 2 teams per inning, which is 18 right here, right? So you got 18 half innings, 54 outs, and 162 games in a season. Now, if you still think that's a coincidence, the dude who invented baseball, Abner Doubleday, 89, 35, 154, right? Now, the best thing you can do in baseball is a grand slam. Also 89, 35, 154. The baseball season, before it was 162 games, when it was first invented, it was an 154 game season. How specific. Abner Doubleday invented baseball. You see it right here. Baseball used to be a 154 game season. Now, what's the chances that on June 3rd, right, the 154th day of that year, right, the 154th day of that year, the Grand Slam record was hit. The grandest day in history, the most home runs ever in a day. And a single day major league record. So what's the chances that the most Grand Slams ever was hit on the 154th day of the year if it's not scripted? And that Grand Slam equals 154, just like the dude who invented baseball. And how his name is also the same as the best thing you can have in baseball, Grand Slam. I'm giving y'all that drop, man. But back to the 26s. Ball game, 26. Game, 26. Yankees, 26. Babe isn't the best baseball player. Babe, 26. Alright. Athlete, 26. Sports, 26. And by the way, if you go back to the beginning of this video, I guarantee you none of those random words, the fruits, the vegetables, or none of that. I bet you none of those equal 26. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You can fact check me, bro. I'm trying to tell you this is no coincidence. This is no coincidence. Action. Action, 26. Jordan, 26. The best fucking athlete of all time. Bryant, his fucking seed, 26. And just to show y'all some cool shit, Kobe Bryant equals 113. In the same exact spot, Michael Jordan equals 113. Just like Bryant and Jordan both equal 26 in the same spots and 37 in the same spots. Now if you look, 3:51 was on the clock when he did this shit. 3:51, the famous poster with 3 minutes and 51. Now what's crazy is that the number 351 is the 26 triangular number, meaning 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 ... plus 26 equals 351. So your boy Big 26 Jordan, your athlete 26, how convenient that his dunk pick was exactly on the 26th second. Shit's mad scripted. You're not telling me otherwise. I'm sorry. You're not telling me otherwise. I'm sorry. That's all the 26s, man. That's all I could give y'all. That's a lot of 26s though, man. I hope that shit clicked. But now I'm gonna just show you some other cool stuff to hopefully let it sink in more. You feel me? Lil Nas X, a one-hit wonder out the cut, just blew up. I'm gonna show you how these industry plants get put into position. His name is Montero Hill. That's Lil Nas X's real name, right? Montero Hill. Old Town Road. In three of the ciphers, Old Town Road and Montero Hill are the same. So that lets you know why Montero Hill dropped the #1 song, Old Town Road, and that's how that shit took over the mainstream media. Judge. A judge has a gavel. Exact same gematria, right? What's the chances? Another one. A witch. She has a broom. Both the exact same gematria. What's the chances? Now that's not enough for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all some crazy stuff before I do my. I'm gonna do a whole Kobe exposed lecture, so I'm not trying to go too deep, but I'm gonna give y'all some drop. Wilton Chamberlain equals 100. He scored 100. And Kobe Bean Bryant in the exact same spot equals 81. Alright, and if you don't know, Kobe won the 54th championship in NBA history. The Kobe Bryant All-Star game was on 2/16, and the game went up to 135 points. And he scored 81, just like Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 in those same exact spots, right? They were both Los Angeles Lakers, both came from Philadelphia. History repeats itself. Now, what's crazy about Kobe scoring 81 is Kobe scored 81 in his 666th game. You can see it right on the Ball is Life article. Kobe scored 81 in his 666th game. And not even in my dreams is exactly what he said, right? Right after that game. Anyways. He scored 66% of his team's total points, too, on top of this. And not even in my dreams, okay? That's what he said after the game. Got him. Let's do Mark of the Beast, too. Because Mark of the Beast is 666. We already went over that. So Kobe scored the Mark of the Beast number, 5481. 5481. Kobe scored Mark of the Beast in his 666th game. I mean, scored 81 in his 666th game, which is the Mark of the Beast. And then after that game, his exact words, this is how I know he knew what he was doing, not even in my dreams, in quotations. Now, what's the chances his exact phrase equals 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. It equals the amount of points he scored, 81. And it equals 243, like his name. And Kobe won the 54th season NBA history. His only daughter that died in the plane was 54. And I'm not going to give y'all too much of that. That's for the Kobe exposed lecture, man. That's going to be a crazy lecture. But just to show y'all some more about Kobe, and to show y'all the importance of him and his 666, Kobe had a 666 plan. And Alright, 666 workout. We're done with that. And from Kobe's death to Chadwick death, 216 days apart. 126, right? 126, 2020, and Chadwick death. And by the way, the correlation is that it's the Black Panther and the Black Mamba. One was 42, one was 24, the opposites of each other, right? And Chadwick died on Jackie Robinson Day at age 42. I got proof of that too. And it says 43, but I'm telling you in my Chadwick Exposed lecture, I'm going to prove to y'all it was 42. Chadwick Boseman died August 28th, right? From his death, 1/26, 2020, to Chadwick's death, 8/28, 2020, is exactly 216 days apart. 6 times 6 times 6 days apart. Alright? And that's exactly 216 days apart. In the Kobe All-Star Game, the Kobe All-Star Game took place on February 16th, 2/16. And the Black Panther movie release, that shit released on 2/16 as well. Alright, now that we went over Kobe, last but not least, the finale. I'm going to explain to y'all how this year's Super Bowl was mad coded up. Now, if you watched my last video, you've seen how Joe Rogan and Alex Jones were talking about Moloch and how they worship Moloch over at Yale, in the Yale fraternity, right? Skull and Bones, known as the Order 3, Brotherhood of Death, is under blah, 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 blah. It's one of the big 3 societies at Yale, right? Mr. Bush was a member, this is an independent doctor, was a member of the elite Skull and Bones, right? Okay, so we know the Bush family was Skull and Bones, alright? They all went to Yale, just like Hillary in the first video. I exposed that shit. Now, you see Skull and Bones, their logo, right? I'm about to break down to y'all how I use Gematria to predict the Super Bowl. Skull and Bones is the Skull and Bones logo. So what are the chances that Tom Brady went to the Skull and Bones team out of all teams to win the Super Bowl? The Buccaneers logo, right? If you don't know, the Buccaneers are the only team in the NFL that would have fit this description. They were the only team in the NFL that would have fit this description of Skull and Bones, okay? Now, Tom Brady, right? Yale equals 43, okay? Yale equals 43. And Tom Brady went to go play in Tampa Bay, Florida. Florida 43. At age 43. And he's considered the GOAT 43. Of football 43. And why that's mad important is because out of Skull and Bones, the 43rd president was George Bush, okay? Out of Yale. Out of Yale. Keep this in mind. Who was the 43rd vice president? Herbert Wasserburg, George Bush's father, was the 43rd vice president. Now, who was the 43rd governor of Florida? Jeb Bush was the 43rd governor of Florida. All 3 Skull and Bones Bush members, how convenient that they all were 43s, right? Coming out of Yale, Skull and Bones. Now that we know that, Yale, right? 43, GOAT 43, Florida 43, football 43, and 43-year-old Tom Brady went to go play for a Skull and Bones themed team and won the chip, man. That was the ritual for the year, so I knew that shit was locked in. I took my money even though they were underdog and made my quick band. You feel what I'm saying? You can use this shit to really help you, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. February 12th, right after the Super Bowl, damn near. Armed and dangerous MIT grad student hunted over murder of newly engaged Yale student, right? So a Yale student was murdered in Goatville. A Yale student shot dead in Goatville. Zhang was shot and killed on 2/6/26 in the Goatville neighborhood, while many Yale where many Yale students live. And if you don't get it, Yale, Goatville, they sacrifice, your boy sacrificed somebody. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all appreciated this video, man. I hope I broke y'all out the matrix and helped y'all understand what the numbers mean, man. And shit, we got bangers and bangers coming, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. And man, stay woke. Peace.
But I just brought it back, put in some work, now my diamonds do jumping jacks, jump on the stage, make a dime, have a heart attack, 21 young, done my a thumb through 100 racks. I am not cuffing no body, no cardiac. Lambo truck, I gotta watch where I'm parking that Lambo up. Now I got fans who want autographs. I'm the plug, I got plugs that keep coming back. Spend a rack every day cause I make it back. Spend